The roadmap to higher morale on campus via wellness initiatives, presented by me, Daratwara Hara. I've been a PE teacher at Helemano Elementary for about 8 years now. Helemano is a small Title I school right outside of Wahiwa in the town of Whitmore Village. Really country, known for country living, small shops, chickens everywhere, and dough plantation. Just know that we're just one small school located in a small village, located in the middle of the island, which is in the middle of the island chain, which is literally in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So please take this presentation with a grain of salt, that we have a unique culture at Helemano. I have extremely supportive administrators, so much so that they agreed to turn into stretchy voodoo dolls during the pandemic to help our teachers with their stress. We know that's not the case at every school, but hopefully you find value in this presentation and you can take what is important and what you can use and take it to your own administrators and see what you can do to bring higher morale on campus. And for your school, maybe it's not having, your entire staff beam water balloons at your principal or making him get dizzy at a bat. Like, every school is different, so just keep that in mind. In this presentation, teachers will be able to approach his or her administrators with confidence concerning new wellness initiatives, boost morale at their school, and create positive changes on campus. At Helemano, I had 3 main initiatives. The first was to restructure recess to align with my PE expectations. The second was that I wanted to see school-wide changes that better align with current research and data. And the third is that I wanted to create an ongoing staff wellness program for anyone on campus. All of our teachers and staff, everyone would be welcome to that program. The first initiative, to restructure recess to align with PE expectations. My guess is, as a PE teacher, you have the best management skills on campus. You should be able to freeze your entire school with whatever your stop cue is. I personally use Pangrazy, so mine is a double whistle that I crank and everyone will freeze in their ready position with their eyes on whoever blew that whistle. We also included a recess cart. Whereas before, teachers would bring out their own individual equipment, I was then in charge of putting together a recess cart that the kids could use the equipment for whatever games they wanted to play. The third was we started PD for teachers, professional development, on structured games that they could help the kids play. They weren't making the kids play it, but it was an option that the teacher could help with the rules of starting a Sharks and Minnows game, for example, or a soccer game, or something somewhat structured at recess. And then the last thing we implemented to redo this whole recess was the book. And the book is what collected the data, which is what made all of these changes possible, and to reinforce how we were able to make these changes and how we got admin on board, and how this turned into a much broader systematic change than just, I want to fix recess. Here's my principal, Ernest Moon, talking about our structured recess and some of the changes that he saw happen at Helemano.
So over the years, once we aligned our school-wide behavior expectations and our recess procedures with what was happening in the PE classes, the students knew exactly how to line up or freeze when the recess bell happened, and then our referrals started to decrease because the expectations were also aligned to the guidelines shared in PE. And then we also created a recess book where their infractions were documented, and then there was consequences that were enforced as well. All of those things coming together really decreased our office referrals.
Here's my vice principal, Chad Nakapui, talking about the book.
So we used Google Forms for people to now input the data, and then we use a whole bunch of add-ons on the Google Sheets side to automate emailing the students, counting the infractions, and then emailing again when a student hits 3, 5, 7, so nobody needs to do anything. The process is completely automated, keeps us up to date on a daily basis, who's messing up. And then more importantly, I think the wellness part of it, it allows us to address the situation that occurred almost immediately. So if a student messed up, the teacher has that email. As soon as that infraction occurs, there's an email sitting in the teacher's inbox that lets the teacher know exactly what happened 2 minutes ago at recess.
Welcome to the tutorial on how to write up your kids. Here we go. Open your Safari, click, go to your search bar, click, type in bit.ly dash Hele handbook goal. Ta-da! From here, you're going to choose your grade. Click. Who do we want to get in trouble? 4th grade. Click next. Now, which teacher is a student in? Which class? What did he do? Name calling. Click the infraction. If you need to explain more, go ahead. You can type in your answer here. I don't know. Test. Not rest. Test. Let's see. Also, you can, if it's not on here, you can click on other and explain here as well. That's fine. And then you're gonna click done and submit. Ta-da! If you need to do another one, just click submit another response and you are going to back to the beginning. All done. In review for recess, we did 4 main things to switch up our recess at Helemano. The first one was to streamline the whole stop queue for the entire school by using Pangreezy's double whistle. So whether they're in the cafeteria, out in the field, in my class, if they hear a double whistle, everyone was in that ready position. The second thing we did was add in that recess cart to provide equipment to everyone so that all the kids had stuff to play with. The third was professional development for our classroom teachers. That included activity breaks inside the classroom as well as recess games. That's really easy for them to put on, so the kids had some structured activities that they could do. The last thing, and arguably the most important in my opinion, is the book. The book is the data collection that is needed in order to continue keeping things the way they are versus going back to how it was. The second Helemano initiative was to create school-wide change to better align with current research and data. When we take on these initiatives, we have to realize that we are advocating for our students and that we are the experts in the field, and it's our job to show the data to our admin to buy into this. So here's Ernest on why he agreed to switching recess before lunch.
So it was okay for us to switch recess to before lunch for a couple of reasons. Number one, the research shows that it's beneficial for our students. And then number two, the students were able to actually enjoy lunch instead of just rushing through lunch because they just wanted to get out there. And so those were the 2 reasons why we wanted to make that switch.
Adhering to the wellness guidelines can be super difficult, especially for some veteran teachers. They've been doing it the same way for forever. But when you keep telling the kids don't drink soda and you have them bring healthy food and your office ladies are on board and they don't even let cupcakes leave the front office, that's when you know you have full buy-in from the whole campus. And it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of positive motivation, but your teachers can do it, and at the end of the day, your kids will be more healthy. The last school-wide change we made was using the recess data in our PBIS support system, which is positive behavior support. Here's Counselor Brittany Kawina explaining how exactly that works at Helemano.
In using the Rhesus Book data, we're able to see which students in which classes are struggling with those behaviors and gather the data regarding those specific behaviors of concern. Once we have that data, we're able to work with our team of teachers and the support staff to discuss improvement strategies for those students. This was one element of implementation for our Helemano behavior support system to see how the behaviors could be improved. By doing so, we could see how we could affect change in these students, especially in their overall RTIB process. We could see when the behavior was occurring, what the behavior was, how to more appropriately have an implementation strategy, and see overall positive change in that student over time.
The easiest way to boost staff morale or morale on campus in general, other than beaming your principal with balloons, is to have a staff wellness program. Hey Lily, why is fitness or wellness important to you?
Okay, so personally, I do work out 3 to 4 times a week, and I have found that it helps me with, feeling fatigue. I feel upbeat after my workout, and I realize if I'm looking to, age well, I have to be healthy, and that's why I really believe that, wellness is important.
Okay. Mariah, why is wellness important to you?
It's important to me because it's stress relief after school. We can get out there and play games and just hang out with our fellow teachers.
Nothing about the admin, huh?
I say no comment.
So we can get out our pent-up frustrations in a positive way. So we can spend time with our co-workers when it doesn't have to deal with work and get to know them on a different level, and so we can have fun.
Wellness is important because it helps you feel better, because when you exercise you get adrenaline and endorphins that makes your mind happy. Oh, I like wellness because I'm a new teacher and I like making new friends, and I've been able to meet a lot of new people at wellness.
What wellness means to me, I've been involved for how many years now? 6 years? 7 years? Yeah. So it means everything from camaraderie and just time together to just laugh and relax at the end of the week, to holding me accountable to my coworkers and to my friends to live healthier, not just our food and how we live our life, but to exercise regularly on a weekly, daily, yearly basis. The fun times, even when I don't want to play a game, I always have fun. Even when I don't want to laugh, we always laugh. And then I know I feel better. I know I am pushed harder. I'm probably the silver group, the silver grandmas in the group, but I keep up with the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds, so that makes me feel good too. So if I can do it, they can do it.
It's time. You know your initiatives that you want to attack at your school. I shared mine. Yours are probably different. But now what? How do we do it? We got to start at the top. Next step to getting your principal to agree to wellness initiatives. You go to the office, you get your advocacy and wellness binder, and this is what you do with your admin. You knock on the door. Are you busy?
Never.
Never, never. And you take the binder and you... Can you please read up on some research and some data, Mr. Moo? All the data. All the data. Your admin will definitely not drop everything to read it right now, but what do you think?
Amazing.
There you go. That's it. You just gotta go for it. You just gotta try your best. You knock on the door, see if he's busy. You You busy?
Busy.
You're busy? Oh, I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
You can read that later. Are you gonna, what is that? Are you interested in? No, he's not. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out something else. Take it back to the drawing board. Okay. He didn't like my binder. He didn't like it. So, I'm coming back with another one. More data, wellness data.
This is incredible. So I think if a teacher wants to come to admin, they should come with some research as well as some data to support the changes. I know for us, we've seen an improvement in our test scores. We've seen our students more engaged and more excited to be in school with these changes that have taken place.
I think I tell this to our staff a lot. I think one of the keys that anybody needs to have when approaching administration or anybody that's above them is they need to understand what the term managing up means. So what that means is, I think if you want to start a school-wide wellness program, then you need to understand your administration, the things that excite them, the things that they want to do, and how your particular idea will tie into the school-wide plan. For me, this program had already started by the time I got here, but if Dara had come to me and managed up and just said, and because Dara knows me, she would just say, hey, you out of shape, you need to get in shape. That would trigger something for me, and really, for those of you that don't know me, I lost 40 pounds since coming to Helemano in just over a year now, being here at Helemano. And that's in large part due to Dara's fitness, Dara's faculty-wide wellness program. But it's just taking these small steps that as administrators, you need to kind of enlighten us about, like, why put recess before lunch? What's the benefits of those things? Why do we need a faculty-wide wellness program? Teach me why those things are important. And those are kind of those managing up terms that I think if you brought to your administrator, they would be a lot more willing to listen to than just saying, hey, I have this great idea. The other thing that I would highly suggest you do is bring data. A lot of administrators are data-driven, and especially, I speak for myself, I'm data-driven. If you can show me data that says this is better than the way we're doing it, then of course we're always willing to listen and give you an opportunity to do those things.
I didn't call him fat. Let's just be sure. I never called him out of shape or fat. That's not how we do it here, but nonetheless, it would have worked.
I think one of the things that for me as an administrator as to why wellness is important for teachers. So John Hattie has this quote, and the quote is, teachers see learning through the eyes of their students. So if teachers take wellness serious, they can see the impact that it has on their own lives and why and how it changes them. And the hope is that they'll take that, internalize it, and then place that importance on wellness on their students, so that PE isn't just some time for them to go on Xerox things, that they really truly live it and breathe it. The other thing that I think as an administrator sometimes that we don't think about for staff wellness is that the more healthy our employees are, the more productive they are. I truly believe that, and I think that's why our principal Ernest Moon really pushes wellness here at the school. I'll take myself as a perfect example. As administrators, there are a lot of times when we have to make decisions, and sometimes really truly not to pump it up, but sometimes we have to make life and death decisions for people in the blink of an eye. We just have to make that decision. And if we're not well rested, mentally okay, then we're going to make poor decisions, and some of these poor decisions will really have an impact on our students' lives. We have to be coming to work on 8 hours of sleep and all of that stuff, eating the right foods, and more importantly, exercising to get that stress out. The more healthy we are, the better we are at our jobs, and the better decisions we can make as an administration. And I think that also holds true for teachers. The other thing I think that's really helpful when you have a school-wide wellness program that teachers participate in is the camaraderie that occurs when these things happen. I can't count how many times we come and we have fun as a group, I think, exercising, but I do see the little serendipitous moments where teachers talk to each other about a student or about something that's happening in their classroom, and it triggers something in that other teacher's mind, and oh, maybe I should try this, or I think this might work with that student. And in a day and age where we're so isolated because of COVID, because we're teaching remotely, having those serendipitous moments, I think, are important to building staff morale and for people to learn from each other.
So I recognize that everyone has different financial resources at a school, and certainly with these budget cuts, times are tough. But I really feel if you have the right physical education teacher, they can really help improve the wellness of our students and our staff, as well as the morale. And so I would just honestly and seriously ask you to consider trying to find the funds to support a physical education teacher.
Isn't Ernest a great guy?